The S26 Ultra is here, and we're going to look at 10 amazingly good camera upgrades that have been made on this phone. Welcome back to SamMobile TV. You're here with Daniel, and today we are going to be looking at the Galaxy S26 Ultra and its cameras. Now, you might think that just by looking at the hardware on paper, that there's not much to talk about. Well, I think that's incorrect because I actually believe there is a lot to talk about. Starting with the first one that's worthy of our time, and that's the change to 24 megapixel default resolution. Now, it's not in there by default, even though I just said it was default, but it's in the settings. So if I go into the settings of the camera and go into Camera Assistant, which you must download first, you can go down into advanced resolution options, and there is a toggle there for 24 megapixel. Turn this on and make sure you also turn on keep 24 megapixel resolution, because every time you launch the camera, you want it to stay on that 24 megapixel resolution and not default back to 12. The benefits of this 24 megapixel is that it just gives you double the resolution. And it's quite evident in photos, and I'll put a couple up here. You can actually see 24 megapixel versus 12, and we're going to compare it here to the S25 Ultra. So you can see a 12 megapixel shot from the S25 Ultra versus a 25, why am I keep saying 25? Versus a 24 megapixel shot from the S26 Ultra. You can see more detail in the grass, you can see more fibers in clothing, just a much better experience, and it maintains all the processing and dynamic range too. It does take a little bit longer to process a 24 megapixel shot over a 12, but I think it's worth it. Next new function within here is the APV video codec. When you launch the camera and you go to video, you'll see APV at the top here. Now, again, it's not on by default. You will have to go into the settings again and go down into, video format under the videos, and you'll see professional video capture. Toggle that on, and then you'll see it inside the camera app. If we go into what the settings are for this thing, you've got HDR and log, and you can choose either one of those to record in APV, which is effectively lossless video, and the file size pretty much shows you that that's the case. And you have two options. You've got APV 422 high quality, APV low quality. And then it does give you a little bit of a rundown of what the APV codec is down the bottom in terms of file size and resolution. With the Samsung here, you can do APV up to 8K 30, which is incredible that you can do that lossless quality codec without needing to have external storage and saves directly to the phone. It is recommended though to get external storage to use this function because it does use a lot of storage space. Allow me to show you. So where's an APV video? Here's a log one here that I took of the iPhone just to hold it up. So test it out. 8K in log with APV, 6.2 gigabytes with 19 seconds of footage. 6.2 gigabytes. You've also got 4K, which you can do it in, and 17 seconds is 1.66. So you can obviously scale it should you want to, but they're your options, and that's how much storage it uses. For the time being, not everything is supporting this APV codec, but you can edit it and color grade directly on device. So if you go into edit and go into the little toggle here, you can see you have some LUTs, which you can play around with on the phone. And you also have the option to change it yourself. So if you wanted to make it a bit brighter, so you can see a bit more, have the exposure a bit higher as well. Maybe the brightness can come down a bit, have the contrast be a little bit. So you can play around with it and color grade it. And it's really fast to save. So if you hit save copy, the processing is actually quite quick, which means you can just get it straight off and put it somewhere else. Something else that's new as part of the camera in that same area for video capture is LUT preview. So if you turn on log video recording and you hit LUT, you can now actually select LUT preview to see what your log video will look like after you apply your color correction once you've edited it. So if you've got your log video, and you can do log on the selfie camera too, you can see it's kind of flat and bland, and that's the whole purpose of log. If I hit LUT and then I change it to standard, it's going to color grade it before as you're recording, so you can preview it. So then you can say, like, you know what, that looks great, or I'll try a different one, and then you can go back in and obviously color grade afterwards. But that's new with the Galaxy S26 Ultra, that LUT preview, so you can sort of see what your video will look like after you apply your color correction. Sticking with video, And the next one is quite impressive. It's the horizontal lock. So super steady has always been a feature on Samsung phones since Galaxy S10, I think was the first phone to introduce it. And they haven't really done much with it for a few years. Now they're bringing in horizontal lock. Now it's worth mentioning that Samsung didn't invent this feature. This is definitely one that has been on other phones before, but hasn't been spoken about for a while. And Samsung have effectively popularized it now with the marketing they've put into it. What brand do we know that does that? But the way this works effectively, you choose either the ultra wide, the 1x or the 2x camera, and then it just locks onto the horizon line. And then basically you just move it in any way you want and it will stay focused and central. So that means whether you start it vertical or whether you start it horizontal, it'll stay in that orientation no matter which way you turn it. Comparing it to the S25 Ultra versus Super Steady, Super Steady is great at what it does, but obviously if you've got heavy movement, it moves with it. Whereas with this, it will just stay horizontally locked no matter what you're doing. It's so good. Now we've got some new cameras to talk about. And I don't mean like total new sensors, but there's some new apertures. So the main camera's got f1.4 from f1.7 on the S25 Ultra, and the 5x telephoto goes to f2.9 from f3.4 over here. Effectively, it does two things. The f1.4 will absolutely let in more light, so lower light photos are going to be a lot better. And that in turn will help things like shutter speed and ISO, so it creates less noise and a faster shutter. So it means it actually will not need to leave the shutter open as much, so you won't get as much motion blur. Great. You can see in side-by-sides how much better and how much more light it can absorb, that in turn increasing the capability. 5x telephoto is the same. It will also increase that light intake, giving you a better low-light photo. Second thing, and particularly with an f1.4 aperture, is blur. And by blur, I mean bokeh. So it's actually going to create a nice natural depth of field because it's got this nice open aperture. It gives you a nice shallow depth of field to capture those really nice artistic moments. Next, a lot of people are excited by this update, and it's to do with Expert RAW. Quite a popular feature online about Expert RAW is virtual aperture, and it was really only limited to one camera before. So now, if I go into virtual aperture, which is this f-stop here, obviously it's got a bit of a visual redesign too, but you now can use it with the 1x, the 3x, and the 5x camera. So it gives you options now with virtual aperture to actually capture different focal ranges. You also notice here I've got the actual millimeter figure for the focal range for each camera. That's just in the settings of Expert RAW now. Show focal length as millimeters as opposed to 1, 2, or 3, whatever it was before. Now you've got the actual focal ranges. So virtual aperture operates exactly as it did before, except now you've just got the extra cameras that you can use it with, which is great. Still stuck at 12 megapixel resolution. So as soon as you jump to 24, turns virtual aperture off. Another new one in here in Expert RAW, sticking with it, is ocean mode. Now, I don't have any oceans around me at the moment, so I can't really show you this. And I also don't have an underwater housing, so also can't demonstrate this properly. But ocean mode, it just gives you a bit of a heads up. Does not make your phone waterproof. Use it when your phone is sealed, especially if you're deep sea diving, because that's what it's been designed for. Samsung did sort of mention they developed this last year, and now they've actually brought it into Expert RAW as a feature. So again, you've got two lens options, ultra wide and the 1x, and it gives you some information as to what each function does. So if you hit the information toggle, it will tell you what it does, and in particular, it'll tell you how it relates to specific stuff with underwater shots too. So you've also got here a capture interval. So if you want to capture multiple frames, but you want to draw it out, you can control that in here. And again, will tell you that. It's a very clear, very big interface too. Obviously, because of using it underwater, you want easy touch buttons. So ocean mode, that is part of virtual aperture now. Expert RAW. Expert RAW has actually got quite a few updates. So if I go out of this and back into labs, right down on the side here, there's a new toggle called virtual reflector. What is this? Well, it does give you a bit of explanation. So it tells you it can brighten shadows for a soft, natural look. This effect simulates a photographer's reflector, making it ideal for portraits taken in uneven light. So if you've got shadows or if you've got backlight and no front light, it'll actually add a virtual light in front, which you can control. So you've got the 3 focal lengths that you can use it with, as you can see there, and it tells you what each lens is good for. And then you've got the controls. So you've got silver, or gold. You've got the reflectance rate, which you can set to auto or you can control it with a slider. And you've got the direction, where it actually will tell you and show you with a little map how you can control it. I think you control it down here. There you go. Really cool. Only 2 more to go. Next one is Samsung have got a new selfie camera. So the selfie camera on the S26 Ultra is different to what's on the S25 Ultra. It's actually wider. So I can bring the S25 Ultra in here and switch to the selfie camera. And if I put them next to each other, you can actually tell straight away that there's more to be seen in this one versus this one. And even if I swap them around, you can definitely just see more from this one. You can see the edge of that, whereas this can barely see that. And I'll swap them back. So it's a wider one. It's actually, I'll explain and show it to you. You've got 25 millimeters versus 23 millimeter focal range on the S26 Ultra. So it is a little bit wider, which means you're going to get a little bit more in the frame. So, and something else that's new, because Samsung actually ditched night mode as an option, they have given you the ability to bring it back via camera assistant. But if I go into photo mode and it's dark, you've got the little night mode toggle here, and you have options. You've got night mode off, night mode 4 seconds, or night mode maximum at 6 seconds. So that actually now is a toggle that you can control within the standard photo mode. There's no need to go into night mode anymore. Samsung integrated it into here. So the only thing they've integrated into the camera app, so for example, dual recording is its own mode, but Samsung have also built it in the software here where you can actually just activate it directly from the video section as opposed to needing to go to more. The only one they haven't added into anything is single take, and that is still there. Again, bring it back via a toggle in camera assistant. So that is the new updates to the Galaxy S26 Ultra's cameras. 10 of them to be precise, and chucked a couple in for change. So you just let us know in the comments what one you liked the most. We're big fans of the APV and the 24 megapixel mode. I think that's a massive win. So looking forward to hearing your thoughts. You can pre-order using the links down in the description. Every bit helps support SamMobile. Go check us out on our website. Go check us out on our socials and hit subscribe here whilst you're down in the comments. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.